Hello friends, welcome back to Symphony of the Night. Thank you for joining me. Let's get cracking. So, in the previous episode, we did some exploration. Let me see, we found the underground caverns. We explored the ice cavern, we came upon the boatman. The sort of Charon boatman guy who was the guy who we saw through the telescope in the start, in the bottom of the outer wall area, if you remember. We then got the charm thing, which allows us to summon him. There are two exits to this room, but I can't seem to access either of them at the moment. I do recall that not too far away from here there was another door that was magically sealed by, yes, I believe it was at the top left. We can now open that door by the Jewel of Open, which we bought from the guy in the store. We also bought, if you remember, the library card, which allows us to walk back to the library, the long library area, and visit the shop instantly at any time. But then I found a library card just in my travels about 5 minutes later, which was kind of irritating because it cost $500. Luckily, there was a place that spawns a $250 money bag basically every time you go into the room, so we should now have, let me see, yeah, 1734, so we've got a decent amount back, but you saw how much some of the special swords and things cost from the shop. They cost $10,000 or $12,000 each. And while of course they are very good swords, we... dagger or axe? Dagger. We won't be getting those swords for a long time yet, if at all. As I mentioned before, there is a sword later on in the game, much later in the game, very near the end, which basically breaks it. And basically means the whole rest of the game is completely trivial, and you can defeat the final boss in about 5 seconds as long as you're properly leveled. So we may get that one just because it's like just for lols, you know. But Spittlebone. Let's see. Yes, I think I've navigated this whole room already, so I'm just heading back to where I think that door is going to be. And I think it's to the top left exit of this room. I think also that it will take us to the Royal Chapel area, if I remember the name of that place correctly. I will just save the game here, just in case anything goes rumly coming up, because this is quite a challenging area. Again, if it's the area that I'm thinking of, although that area is definitely at the top left of the castle, so if it's not that area, we should be able to find that area fairly easily. Hope that makes sense. Apologies for the appalling syntax. I'm still a little bit ill. I still have issues with my throat, and I've taken some cold and flu medication, here we go, which has made me feel a little bit unusual. So apologies. Here's Maria.
Alucard, wasn't it? We meet again.
So it seems.
As friendly as ever, I see. It's strange. This castle's different than I remember it.
This castle is a creature of chaos. With each rebirth, it takes a new form.
And here I thought my mind was playing tricks. Well, there's nothing for it. Till we meet again.
So of course I didn't mention that in the intro of the game, when we play as Richter, we can get Maria to appear and give us her powers. She is of course a little girl. This is set some years later. I think about 5 years later or something like that. Maybe more. Would make sense for it to be more. But the reason why this is the first game where the actual protagonist is not a Belmont is because sort of a big point of the story of this game is that Richter Belmont, the current the current Belmont hero, has gone missing, and no one knows. Ow, 17 damage. No one knows what's happened to him. These bone pillars are, of course, classic Castlevania enemies. In this room, they take a slightly new tact, in the sense that they will roll down the stairs when you kill them, and like this, and are still a hazard. Unless you take out the top one first, of course. And those vases up there we may be able to reach with the wolf jumping exploit thing, but I feel like it's probably going to be easier just to wait until we have the double jump, or the form of bat, which allows us to fly and get to any height. Once you have the form of bat, you can basically go anywhere in the whole game. So that's like the point at which you really unlock the entire world map, is when you have the form of bat. And this room appears to be somewhat destroying me. But hey, it's all experience, I guess. Ooh, a Damascus sword. That is a better sword than the one we spent loads of money on, which is interesting. It's still one-handed too, so we can see this one has a spiky ball on top. Spiky ball cannot be destroyed by weapons, as if I remember rightly. So you just have to avoid it. But I am starting to slightly regret spending all that money. And a cutlass. And what's the cutlass like? Sword of the English Navy. I'm not sure about that, actually, you know. I don't think the cutlass was a sword of the English Navy. I think that was a rapier. Still. Sorry, my phone. This thing is really annoying. It's like almost like a mini-boss. As you can see, it's absolutely destroying me, and it's pinned me in a corner, so I'm going to try that again from a distance. See if I can... Yeah, take it out before it spawns the other swords. It's very useful indeed. I believe this is a dead end. I think this is a room that we have to open from the other side. It is, but we have a knight shield here, which is definitely better than our leather shield. Defense up to 7. That's another area that we will come to later. And has a pretty cool boss fight. One of the final boss fights of this part of the game as well. So there is a bad ending and a good ending. The bad ending is the one that everyone basically will get first, because all of the content in the game after that point requires that you get certain items in the game and use them in a specific place. And I would be very surprised if anyone worked that out on their own on their first attempt. So the final boss of this of this section of the game, if you will, is not who you think it's going to be, and then there isn't really an ending after that point. So I'm trying to remember where the nearest save room is to here. Presumably there is going to be one very nearby. I'll try going this way. Ah, this is quite interesting, this confessional booth. You can sit at the booth, and a ghost will appear on the other side, I think. Not sure how long you have to wait for that to happen. Maybe you have to go on the other side of it. But there are several things. Here we go. See, this is a crying ghost woman. And I don't think she does anything. But then there is another ghost that appears that can harm Alucard, who's like a different colour. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't think you can actually get anything from that room. It's just this weird little thing. Let's see. Let's go up and to the right, I guess. We'll try that way. I hate those skelerangs. I really hate them. So we have to get up and over. We can go further up this tower as well, but it's quite hazardous. And we can't open that from this side, so it looks like we may have to. Well, that's a bummer. How annoying. This area has these flying enemies, these crows and these things, winged guards, and as you can see, they cause a lot of problems. Ranged attacks may be a much better idea than melee. The hunting girl is like a sword with a ghost possessing it, and quite a tough enemy at this point of the game. Let's go this way. Yeah, this wall of spikes, we need to get spike breaker armor, which is an item much later on. And so I think... I love how the bell chimes when you stand on it. That was always a nice touch. I remember liking that as a kid. Or however old I was when this game came out. I think I was about 12 when this game came out. I guess 12 is definitely still being a kid, isn't it? I'm running very low on HP. I could really do with just getting a save room quite soon. I do have some... Ooh, ham and eggs. I was going to say I do have some things that may restore some, and I've just picked up some ham and eggs, which will serve that purpose too. Another tower here. Ah, damn it. Yeah, this is getting a bit close. I'm gonna have to use something. Let's use ham and eggs. Increases cholesterol. 22 HP recovered. Let's go for... what have we got? Grapes. Juicy seedless grapes. 5 HP. Not brilliant, but still. Looks like we have to go up here, so... Put the night shield back on. And climb the bells. Oh god, I hate those things. This area is really bad. I guess that I'll continue this way and hope that I get to a save room. I think... Oh, 18? Man. Okay, I really can't be getting hit by those guys. Oh god, this is a boss. Okay, I'm going back that way. I'm not attempting a boss with 36 HP. Or less. I can't even remember what this boss is like, so... I don't recall it being too difficult, but you never know. Let's try some shiitake mushrooms. 30. Pretty good. Okay, that's helped us immensely. And we'll leave the other one equipped. And it looks like I can't get higher than this. Oh no, I can. Up to the top. What's up here? A small loft space containing a zircon. That appears to be it. So I may have to attempt that boss. Let's give it a go. Got high hearts, so I can always just pepper him with knives. Ooh, a javelin. Yeah, let's give it a try. I think it's a phoenix or something. Oh no, it's like a hippogriff. Yeah. Actually called hippogriff as well. Die. Let's just keep attacking him from a distance. And that's me out of hearts, but... Whoa! But he should be fairly dead at this point, I'm hoping. Mind you, I am as well. Okay, we got him, that was easy. Should get a heart max as well. Yes, we do. I mean, a life max.
You look like you're doing well for yourself.
And you didn't come here to flatter me.
True. Do you know the name Richter Belmont?
Belmont? Of course. Why?
He disappeared about a year ago. I'm sure he's here now. If you see him, please let me know.
As you wish, my lady.
A gentleman after all. Thank you.
Cool, so it's a nice touch how when Alucard is told the name Belmont, he thinks of Trevor Belmont, who was the Belmont that he fought alongside in Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse. That's set several centuries before this, and of course Alucard has been in slumber since then. So that's just a nice little touch how it shows you the 8-bit sprite of Trevor Belmont there. Let's try going up again. Let's see what we can find. We can find more crows, which I apparently can't avoid because I'm an idiot. Another attic space containing a potion, which may be useful, and a cutlass, which we already have. Not as good as the sword we have right now. Going across into a new area, which is... I'm not sure. Didn't tell me. Oh god. Axe Knight. Oh yes, I remember this area. We need to get up above, which we can do later. These are hunchbacks riding on... Ah, I've got the crystal back. Okay, so that's a place that spawns the crystal. That's good to know. The flea riders, yeah, they're like the little hunchback guys, but they're riding on birds, and they're flying enemies. So if you've watched my other videos, platforming videos or anything, you'll know that I'm very bad at dealing with flying enemies in games. Castle Keep. I don't think we can get anywhere in this yet, but I believe there is a save room up here. I think it's to the right. Nope, but this is a tier thing, which is Cursed Dark Sword. I don't think we can equip it because it's cursed. I can't remember how that mechanic works in this game, but nonetheless. These flea guys are annoying, of course, and will knock you down. There was that little necklace thing that we saw just before, somewhere down the bottom of here. Oh god. Oh, I need to be finding and grabbing that, and they do a lot of damage. Oh dear, this is not good. Let's see. Ah! No, stop it! Stop it! 30 HP. My goodness. May have to use that potion. The leap stone. This is the double jump thing, I think. Where it can do a double jump. Very nice. Very useful. And a turquoise, which we can sell to the shopkeeper for monies. So now we have the double jump. You see that his he like gets these spectral wings, which is a really cool animation. Generally, animations in this game are absolutely stunning. I think the save room might be further up, but unless it's in here. This might be a warp room or something. Can't remember. Yes, it's a warp room. Okay, well at least that means we can go back and save the game. And if we walk back to, yes, to this one, I think there is actually, conveniently, a place we can double jump to in this very room. Which is probably intentional, that it wants you to walk back here and try that out once you've got it. But then we will just have to start sort of backtracking a little bit, we may be able to get to a place in the long library that we couldn't reach before. Can I get... No, I can't get up there. I think there's a wall up top which is preventing me from getting across. Nonetheless, I'll save it here. Okay. 129 HP is pretty good. We are very low on hearts though, so I may need to start being more conservative with my crystal usage. 100 bucks. Thanking you. Bacillard. What's a bacillard? Basic short sword. Absolutely crap compared to this. Okay, so where are we going next? Oh, the clock tower. I think we can now go to the clock tower. I believe so. We may need the form of bat in order to do that, but I'm going to try it all the same. So we need to warp back to the outer wall. You can start to see now how the general pace and progression of this game is falling into place. This is generally the way that you play the majority of it, in that you have to try and remember the places where you couldn't reach, and then when you get a new ability, oh dear, when you get a new ability, you go back to those places and see if you can make progress. Unfortunately, the clock tower is my absolute least favourite area of the whole game. I really hate it, and it's very treacherous area, really hard to navigate, especially when you don't have very much HP, although we're doing alright. I'm just going to have to hope for the best. I am, however, going to go and save it. Medusa heads. I am going to go and save it at the top of the tower here, just to refill our HP and save some time. That, I believe, is the door to the clock tower. That is a very large coffin. Is that because it's supposed to be Dracula's coffin? I've always wondered this. Like, I appreciate that Alucard is Dracula's son, so he has, like, vampiric powers too, which I always thought that it was his coffin, you know, that like he was slumbering in his coffin to save the game, but I couldn't, you know, I could never work out why it's twice the size it should be. Yeah, okay, so Skull Lords hang out at the bottom. They aren't particularly tough, but they do a lot of damage. And you saw the floor fall away there. When that happens, you have to try and double jump to the next place. And some of those jumps require that you reset the room, like leave the room and go out again. And so, flail guards, they're weak, but they do tons of damage when they hit you. So you see there once again, but there are some things down below that, this is good XP, I suppose. There are some things down below that fall, which we can collect. But it's sort of a case of kind of trying to remember where the floor falls away. Because crystals are very useful for that sort of situation. Okay, so let's fall here. What was this? Magic missile. Pretty good. And pentagram. Not sure what that does. But you can see the reason why when I first came to this area of the game, that as soon as I saw it, I just went out again, because I remembered that you needed the leap stone in order to get across this large room here. And so now that we have it, I think we can access the main area of the clock tower, which is the area I always dread. It's the area of this game which is most similar to the classic Castlevania platforming games, like the ones on the NES and Super Castlevania 4 and Castlevania Vampire's Kiss or Dracula X. But when you've completed this game and you've got the proper ending, as opposed to the bad ending I mentioned earlier, then you unlock Richter as a playable character, and in this game you also unlock Maria, but Richter plays like he plays in the intro of this game, and so it turns the experience into the experience of like a classic Castlevania action game, you know, where you can only, like, your jumping is very restricted and you can only use the whip. Richter does have some other special moves as well, but okay, this area, I hate this area so very much. You have the Medusa heads flying across, you have these flying enemies which are really, really tanky and have loads of crazy special moves, and all in all combined, it makes for a very hellish experience. I don't know if I'll be able to jump to those raised weapons and things over there, but I'm thinking probably not. I'm not going to risk it, because that means I'll have to backtrack. These things are hell, and you can see that did 21 damage, combined with, probably going to be killed here, combined with the yellow Medusa heads, which turn you to stone when they hit you, and the conveyor belts and things like that. It basically means that, like, one hit and you just get bounced around the whole area, lose all your progress, and it's just horrific, basically. But luckily I got some potions there that I could use. I think we need Form of Mist possibly to get through there, or we possibly might need to open that gate remotely. Luckily they give a lot of experience, but I'm going to try my best to get through this area as quickly as I can, because it's really, really frustrating. I don't want that item. How do I get through here? By that platform. Jesus Christ! Kill. Just kill. Just kill. No, don't kill me. You see what I mean? How in the space of 10 seconds my HP, I've made no progress and my HP has basically been, like, cleared out. And I am now going to be killed. So move. Kill it. Kill it. Jesus. Okay, down to 50 HP, and there's another one here. These harpies. Okay, they are fairly weak when we've got a decent weapon. Right, really need to make it to a save room here. I remember these things as well. When you kill these, the sword comes to life. Oh god. Let me see if I have anything. Toadstool. Poisonous mushroom, that's no good. We don't really have anything. I'm just going to have to be very cautious here. I think the sword comes to life. Yeah, it does. Vandal sword. A lot of range on those attacks, and I'm now out of hearts, so that's bad. I'm going to stick with the crystal. Yeah, you see that lunge has such a range on it. You really have to be careful. And dispatch the sword very quickly as well. That was a very risky manoeuvre. I probably shouldn't have done that. I mean, I made it, but it could have basically killed me. Okay, we're at the edge of the room here. Let's try... okay. Pendulums from Castlevania 3. That's a nice touch there. I feel like there's a boss coming up. Possibly should... yeah, I'm sure this is a boss, so I'm going to go back and see if there is a save room up there in an area of the previous room that I didn't visit yet. Looks like... yeah, I can get to the upper right somehow. Oh god! Move. Okay, if I can get up here, which apparently I can't. No. Oh, well this is very bad indeed. Let me see. I'll just try and dispatch these guys quickly. I guess I'm just going to have to risk going to the next area. And if I get killed, then I will probably, like, redo the progress off camera before the start of the next episode. There's definitely no door over here, is there? Unless this is an illusory wall. What's this? Healing mail. This is very good. This is one of my most used items in the whole game, as well as actually increasing our defense. It means that when we walk, like this, when he is in the walking animation, you see that he restores a hit point every so often. And so I can basically just exploit this. And yes, it will take a couple of minutes for me to get up to a decent level again, but it means that I should be able to have a decent chance at taking on the boss of this area, which I'm sure there is one just in the next room. So I'll very quickly do this. Depending on how long this takes, I may actually edit this out, but I think it's probably not going to take that long looking at it. Just a couple more minutes. I'll leave this episode going for a little longer than normal as well. Just because we've made some good progress, so it'd be good to be able to get this area cleared. Because, God, I hate that clock tower. If I get killed now, like, I'm going to have to redo it all off camera. I'm not going to make you guys sit through that massive gauntlet of content all over again. We will probably have to come back to the clock tower later on, but, you know, even so, it's not too bad. I'm just taking this opportunity to check my phone, because I have 17 messages in the time that I've been recording this video. That's how amazingly popular I am, you guys. Even though I would much rather spend all my free time recording videos for you, for the entertainment of you, my precious, precious viewers and friends. Just a little bit more here. I think we were on 129 HP was our max. It may be a little higher now that we've leveled up again on those harpies, but I will just keep this going for a moment. Don't really think there's much point in me cutting this out now. Also because I've been talking all over the top of it. But I will soon run out of entertaining things to talk about, and we will need to carry on playing. So this may go up to like 40 minutes or so, 45 minutes this episode. We'll see how we get on. But I feel like this is probably the best chance I have if I restore our HP completely and then attempt them. And it might just be a save room, in which case this will have all been for absolutely naught. But I'm not risking it because I'm sure there is a boss in this section. And I can't remember which boss it is, so it may be one that I'm not 100% used to the pattern of, you know? Anyway, we're nearly there. And I will need to end soon as well, because for the simple reason that my voice is starting to go once again. I've had this illness for an irritatingly long amount of time. And I think the worst of it is over now, but slightly sort of woozy few days that I've had with promethazine and codeine and lots of other flu medicines which make you feel very very tranquilized, let's put it that way. Good thing that I do know this, have played this game so many times. I was trying to work out actually how many times I've played this, and I think it's probably in the region of 20 or 30 times, like complete playthroughs. So, yeah. We'll need to go up here and then across the pendulum thingies. Quite why there are pendulums swinging in this room, I have no idea. They don't appear to be attached to clock mechanisms, but I suppose we are in the clock tower, so they could well be. Right, this is probably a... yeah, this is a boss. Okay. Karasuman. I don't have very many... oh dear. Oh my goodness. Okay, my HP has just been halved, so... we probably should try and... yeah, I think I may be killed here. Yes, I was killed. Alright, sorry about that. It was a bit of an anticlimax. I will do the rest of that content off camera before the start of the next episode and then bring you back in for this boss right here, and hopefully we can have another try. Let me just see, actually, out of interest, how far back I was. I'm in the outer wall, aren't I? I have to do the whole clock tower over again. Well, fun. Okay, well, no problem. I will give it a try. And join you for that boss at the start of the next episode. Thank you very much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, do drop me a like. And stay tuned for more Symphony of the Night. Take care, everyone.